Hi, hello, good evening. Okay, let's do some exercise, shall we? Um, maybe some martial arts, right? What kind of martial arts? Hmm. Let's see. Well, some like free form martial arts, like they kind of look like dancing, right? Um, how about like, yeah, maybe some snake style, maybe, right? Oh, okay, that's good enough. Okay, yeah, let's take a 5 minutes break and yeah, get the show started. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, good evening, everybody. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah, I took a long nap and the uh, and then I woke up and then I was just lying on my bed and I'm sorry about this hair. Let me cover up my balding spot, okay? So I really feel naked and my balding spot is exposed. Okay, a little bit better, I guess. So, so I was like lying on bed after waking up from long nap, and I looked at my cell phone and some Wikipedia articles. This time it was not European history. Well, a little bit of European history, okay, but it was more like Southeast Europe, like Black Sea, Caspian Sea, along that region, okay. That was fascinating, okay. So there's this a little bit nomadic tribe called Scythians, the back in the days. It's north of Black Sea, north of Caspian Sea. Between Black Sea and Caspian Sea, there's a Caucasus mountain range. That's where the name, the word Caucasian came from. Caucasus. Okay. Today's Azerbaijan. It's very difficult to pronounce. It's former Soviet Union. Okay. So and Armenia, part of Armenia, and part of Russia nowadays. So north of Black Sea, back in like 400 BC, around that time, 400 BC, this country called Scythia, 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 whatever. Okay, so and it was fascinating history because I originally was looking at Silk Road in Wikipedia, Silk Road, right? And then I just ran into this picture in the Wikipedia. It's made with gold. It's like this big, it's some ornamental, decorative gold piece, and they say it's from Scythia. Okay, never heard that name before. So I clicked on Scythia hyperlink in the Wikipedia, right? And I learned the history of Scythia, and it was so fascinating. Wow. Like 400 BC, 200 BC around that time. They're nomadic tribe, but at the same time, they were very good at this metallurgy, bronze, gold. Okay, most of them are now in Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg in Russia. Okay, big museum, right? Yeah, so most of those relics from Scythia are in Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg in Russia, and so this amazing history. So I also studied some of the Chinese history, like Han Dynasty. Uh, just like I think Han Dynasty is something like 200 between 200 BC and 200 AD. I think about that lasted about 400 years. Before Han Dynasty, Qin Dynasty that united China, right? That lasted a surprisingly short period of time, about 20 years. Okay, but that was the first imperial uh, big Chinese dynasty, Qin dynasty. Okay, I think around like 200 BC. Okay, and the next Chinese imperial dynasty was the Han dynasty. Okay, this. Chinese character is called Hanja, okay, in Korean pronunciation. I think that came from that country, dynasty, Han dynasty, okay. Han dynasty is very, very famous Asian civilization. A lot of good things came from Han dynasty. So there are some Chinese inventions, okay, big four Chinese invention. What are they? I give you 5 minutes if you want to take a guess, okay? And we'll take 5 minutes break and then we'll talk about that, okay? And after that, yeah, we'll do some economics, okay? Because I thought about that too. Right? I didn't write down anything because I'm not quite ready to write anything, okay? So yeah, okay. We'll take 5 minutes, okay? So, okay. Okay. So, hey, thank you for your time with us. And by us, it's just me, but but I mean, what I learned when I was in politics last year, using the pronoun I, it's it sounds very immature, like egotistical attitude, right? Too much egocentrism. So it's better use the pronoun we. Okay, I'm not schizophrenic or anything. Multiple personality disorder. What? Uh, Dr. Zykel and Mr. Hyde. I'm not that. Okay, it's not like I'm talking to some spirits. No, I'm not that crazy. Okay. Am I crazy a little bit? No, I don't think so. Uh, but yeah, I looked at the viewership of this YouTube. Yeah, uh, I think it's mostly my parents and some of my friends. Okay, well, whoever you are, thank you. Okay, so um, you're always welcome here, and yeah, please feel free to come and go. Okay, because this humanity series will go on with or without audience. Okay, why? It's for the geared toward future generation. Okay, just in case I become famous. Okay, because people who become very famous, like Mozart, Bach, those ranks, eternal celebrities. People, there are some dedicated scholars who study their lives, right? Yeah. I might become one day one of those figures, okay? I don't know. But from what I've seen, the writings, the papers that I put it out there in the online databases, they are really high quality papers, okay? So I think there's a good chance that I become famous. Possibly later in my lifetime, maybe you take multiple decades, or even after I'm dead. Okay, posthumously. I think there's a good chance, okay? But I re-emphasize what we do here in the humanized series and those papers, what I write, is collective wisdom of this era that I learned from other people, okay? And what I also learned from dead people. Like, yes, like Isaac Newton, Galileo Galilei, all those dead people, okay? So, because I learned from them, okay? Read their theories. I didn't quite read their books, like Principia Mathematica, something like that, or natural philosophy, or yeah, Isaac Newton, okay, Galileo Galilei, they wrote many books. I don't have time to read their texts, original texts. I just don't have time. Okay, but in Wikipedia textbooks, right? And I also learn from people, contemporaries. Okay, yeah, friends, politicians, teachers, professors, or friends, former bosses, current bosses, colleagues. Okay, my friends. Yeah, so what I learn from other people, I just write them down. But adding my own stuff too. Okay, so yeah, I'm just a representative of this collective wisdom of this era. Okay, so those are the papers I write. Okay, so no, it's not about me at all. So in the very first page of all those papers, I in the footnote acknowledgement of all those people I met. Right? Uh, so four great inventions came from China. It's paper and printing and gunpowder and compass. Those are the four big inventions of China. Okay, so yeah, and also we may add one more: silk. Okay, silk was invented by Chinese people like some say like 4,000 BC. Long history. Okay, 4,000 BC around that time. Okay, there was very first use of silk in China. So how did I get into that? Because I was fascinated by this dream ballet by Agnes de Mille back in 1950s, right? Because before that, I was reading about some American entertainment industry like cabaret, vaudeville, variety show, right? Like circus. And Agnes de Mille was a dancer in those vaudeville, very scantily clothed, very revealing, sometimes wearing like satin, which is kind of like silk. Okay, revealing the natural body, very slender, young female, like back in the days. Agnes de Mille back in 1930s. Okay, she started as a dancer in Manhattan, New York, Broadway musical. I went vaudeville show. All right. Later on, she became choreographer in Broadway and for Broadway musicals. One of them, yeah, Oklahoma. Okay, with exclamation mark. Okay. Uh, and yeah, satin, like silk. So I looked that up in the Wikipedia, and then came the Silk Road. Okay, I'm a huge fan of Silk Road history. Okay, so yeah, I clicked on there, and Scythia, they're like nomadic tribe north of Black Sea, north of Caspian Sea. Okay, and some of their gold work that was made in what 400 BC. I was blown away. It was so beautiful, so elaborate. Yeah, very characteristic style, unique style. This deer antler, looped antler, and the tree branches, they kind of looped like circular, right? I was blown away. Okay, it was made in gold. It was so beautiful. It was like page turner. Okay, I mean the Wikipedia on my cell phone, right? On my bed after I woke up from long nap, and it was fascinating. Yeah, and to step, STEPPE. There's like Central Asia, Eurasia, right? Today's Mongolia, or uh, they are very known for their horsemanship, horse. Okay, so during this Silk Road trade, that spans about 2 to 3 thousand years. Okay, about 1000 BC until today, Silk Road. That's the road. It's not just silk, but silk was the most famous trade in article between China and Middle East, like South Europe. Okay, way back in the days, because Chinese people for thousands of years, they were the only one who know how to harvest and how to make fabric out of the silkworm. Okay, near monopoly. Okay, so for thousands of years, it was exclusive knowledge of Chinese people, silk, and it's extremely beautiful. Like it's very reflective, very shiny, right? Smooth and very light. Out of this ugly moth larvae worm, and they're pretty big too, right? Oh, silkworm. The Chinese people they harvested those the cocoon, right, pupa, and later on, yeah, Koreans learned it how to harvest silk, and I don't know if it was originally Chinese or Korean, but you have silkworm cocoon, right? So they take out the silkworm and cocoon, the pupa, just kind of sleeping, right? But Korean people they cooked it, they boiled it, and they ate it. In Korean word, that snack, silkworm pupa, uh, what's the name of that? Have I eaten it? Yes, yes. Does it taste good? Yes, it tastes very good. Okay, you just boil it and salt it. Okay, so uh, what's that Korean word for it? I think it's bondegi. Bondegi. They're edible. Okay, that tastes really good. It has good texture too. It's crunchy. Okay, just boil it in the water. Put salt in there. High protein. Okay, the chitin I think is very healthy. Bondegi. Yeah, and this salty this bondegi soup. I mean, it's just water. They boil the this silkworm pupa in the water. Put some salt in there. So that soup, I like it. Okay, it's good soup. Okay, it's just water, salt, and this silkworm pupa. Okay, it's very delicious. Okay, so when I visited Seoul, South Korea, like 3 years ago, I went to supermarket with my mother. It's one of my favorite time. Okay, so I go visit Korea like every 3, 5 years. Okay, and when I do that, yeah, mostly I hang out with my mother. Okay, we go to like Korean supermarket, right? Because my father, he's busy, right? But my mom retiree. Okay, so I go to supermarket, Korean supermarket in South Korea with my mom, and I saw this canned bondegi. Yeah, so it's still being used. Now it's commercialized. Okay, so they put it in a can. I had it. Okay, it was good. Uh, that's funny. Yeah, that was like 3, 5 years ago. Okay, so yeah. Well, let's take 5 minutes break. Okay, then we'll do some economics. Okay, or maybe some other stories. All right. So, okay. All right. Hello. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, sorry for the long break. I gotta talk to some of my friends. So, I do have friends, surprisingly, right? Yeah, a guy like me. Some people are so kind and generous. They befriend me. Okay, God bless them. They're so nice, and people like you too. Okay, thank you for being my friend. Me, worst of all, right? Yeah, but thank God there are good people like you. Okay, thank you for being my friend. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some economics before we forget. Uh, okay. Yeah, this is our transactional demand curve here, using the flat Earth hypothesis, which means the flat demographics of disposable income. Okay. Um, so what this means is we have a long way to go. Okay. But this curve is integration of this flatliner. Okay. You have one person who is poor, one person who is middle income, and one person who is rich. All right, the same number of people in each economic level, right? You integrate that, you get one dimensional, I mean, first order equation, which is like minus x plus 5, something like that. Okay, so demand curve is integration of uh, demographics curve. Okay, so that's what I've already written down in the paper. Okay, all right, so uh, we're gonna extend this line down a little bit, giving it more space. All right. Uh, we're doing economics, okay? So, you know what? Let's redraw it. We need more room up there. Okay. It's good to have friends, right? We get like some of my friends told me many of my friends are very smart, including yourself. Okay, so yeah, we get energy from people, right? Yeah, they're very smart friends of mine told me. I agree. Oh, it's good to have friends. Okay, some invigoration, right? Yeah, yeah, because we are social animal, right? Homo sapiens, like wolves. Yeah, they love other wolves. Okay, social animals. It's just but not every animal species are social. There's some solitary animals like Alaskan moose. It was funny. A couple of nights ago, well, actually, it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Okay, there's this residential moose. I didn't see him. Maybe days before I saw him. I think it was a male moose. It was at night, and this moose was like woo woo woo. It was making this mating call. Okay, I was like, okay, you're a residential moose, neighborhood moose. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do for you, okay? But you are male moose, you are some female moose. So yeah, keep calling, okay? Keep calling. We'll tolerate your night moose call. It's kind of like booty call people, right? We do that, right? Single guys, booty call, calling their girlfriend to spend some private time, okay? Moose, they do that too, okay? I was like, yeah, I heard it at night. This moose, male moose, is calling for female. Woo! Woo! And I was like, yeah, hey, male moose, yeah, I feel you. Okay, I'm single male too, but so I know what you're doing. I feel sympathy. Okay, you're lonely. You want some female company, but there's nothing I can do for you. I don't understand your language. Okay, you're a moose. You're calling female moose. Well, good luck. Okay, but yeah, keep calling. Okay, keep trying because hey, who knows? You may get some. Okay, so keep trying, but I cannot help you. Okay, I don't know where female moose are. I don't know where they are at. Okay, and I don't understand your language. Okay, I don't speak your language. A joke. All right, but we'll tolerate you. Yeah, it's kind of it was quite loud, right? Where was it? I didn't see it. Maybe a block away from this house. Okay, but yeah, good luck. Yeah, that was a joke. All right. All right. So you have price, dollar, quantity, number. Okay, so that's great contribution from Mr. Professor Alfred Marshall, supply demand curve. He got this right. Okay, so we inherit this good stuff, but we reject some bad stuff in his model. All right, it's cherry picking. Okay, so uh, let's say entire population is n in this town. Okay, that's as high as it gets. That's the number of people in this town or in the world. Okay, potential consumers. Okay, at this point of time. Right? It's a still picture. Yeah, it can fluctuate, it can change in time, but there's more dynamics, the variable time, right? Let me get some Tums because I'm drinking liquor. So Yeah. So the yeah dynamics as opposed to statics. Statics is like still picture. Okay. Dynamics is like motion picture, movie. Still picture, there's photography, right? Multiple photographers in succession, that becomes a movie, motion picture. Okay, that's the dynamics as opposed to statics. Okay, statics, temporal art, motion picture. Well, I'm sorry, still photograph, spatial art, and you make a motion picture, it becomes spatial temporal art. It's both time and space. Okay, purely temporal art, that's music, right? But motion picture, it's both spatial art and temporal art. Still photography or painting or sculpture, that's um, space frozen in time. They don't change. Okay, that's spatial art. Temporal art, that's music. Motion picture is both spatial and temporal art. It has both time component and spatial component at the same time. Okay, so we are taking a still picture, okay? Statics, that's easier. Dynamics, where you have time dimension, right? That's more, there's some more information there, right? So we'll just do statics as opposed to dynamics, okay? So population in this frozen in time, we take a picture, okay? And tomorrow there will one more people get born, maybe two more people who pass away. Okay, yeah, the fluctuation of population. Okay, but we take a still picture of that. Okay, frozen in time and world population. Okay, so and transactional demand curve. Okay, it goes like this. So this is n level, number of population at this one given time. Okay, and okay, so that's the transactional demand curve. And we did some consumer theft theory in the previous episode, okay? And now we're going to apply that to this Cartesian coordinate, right? We'll map it, mapping one-to-one correspondence, right? Yeah. From set theory to two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate. Interesting mapping, right? One-to-one correspondence. From set theory to two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate. From set theory, we are mapping set theoretical model, we are mapping it into two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate. It's something really cool. Yeah. Interconnecting two branches of mathematics. You have set theory, and then you have analytics. Two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate. Set theory. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And well, initially we have this. Okay. Well, I guess we can put that in the middle. Okay. So, and this is the volitional demand curve. Volitional demand curve. Okay. This is like a transactional demand curve. Okay. And this is volitional demand curve. It's just flat line, okay? So then what is this guy? Uh, People from here to there, the involuntary consumers, bribable. So they are the political objectors, okay? Right? How about these people? They're the religious objectors, okay? There's no buying them out. Okay. Okay. And from here to there, they are the violation of voluntary consumers. They want my pasta. Okay. Some of them, like Charlie, Brown or Charlie, yeah, they want their gas money. Uh, that's Brown. Charlie demands some more. He wants his gas money and his time spent, his time money too. Yeah. Beyond that, you have to give them some extra money. Involuntary consumers, they're political objectors, okay? But beyond that, they're religious objectors. There's no buying them out. They will, no matter how much money I would try to bribe them with bribery, they will never come to my restaurant because there's some religious objections to my restaurant. Why? Because we serve meat, pork, beef. They don't want that, so they will never come to my restaurant. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and how about these people? Okay, so yeah, they were voluntary people. They want my pasta, but they're kind of busy people or poor people. Okay, so they will come to my restaurant only if I give them some gas money. So this gas money people, okay, and this from here to there, this gas money, right? Gas plus time money, okay, gas money plus time money, okay. So just like Brown and Charlie, okay, and this is Frank. I mean Brown, Charlie, Daniel. Then you have Edward and Frank. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We take 5 minutes break, okay? So the plot thickens, okay? We are encompassing all different strata, echelon, all different kinds of people, right? Because yeah, this economics paper, but it's part of humanology series because humanology we talk about everything, right? So we'll talk about people here, okay? All different kinds of people, okay? Wealthy individuals, right? Middle income, low income, then people are in debt, who are in debt, and people are very deep in politics, who are bribable. People who are very deep in religion, they are not bribable at all. Okay, well that's our narrative. Okay, maybe some of them are. It's a model. It's a simplification. It's a novel narrative. Okay, so model, right? Novel model, novelistic model, modelistic novel, whatever. Okay, so yeah, this paper is being written in very novelistic fashion, narrative fashion. Okay, it's quite interesting. We take 5 minutes. Okay, so, all right. Okay. Yeah, we take 5 minutes. All right. Okay, so uh, I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. All right, but in the paper, yeah, I kind of sometimes I go too fast too. Okay, so here, yeah, I break this down for you, especially for you. Okay, so uh, this will be written in the paper. Okay, and over next week or so. We take time. We're not in a rush, right? It may take another month to finish this paper because there's a lot to this, right? Yeah, but we'll do our job fully. We'll take time. We'll do slowly, okay? So, okay, let's use different colors, right? So I have some other pens. It was it fell in the back of this bookshelf. But I said rescued it, okay? So 'cause I had this heater, space heater, right? I was disconnecting it, reconnecting it to the plug because I ran out. This house ran out of heating oil, heating oil. So I was transferring that electric heater to the from this studio room to living room. Okay, so and I discovered this pen. Okay, it's too light. Yeah, that's better. So as we decrease the price, we are being more democratic, right? More egalitarian, as opposed to if we are increasing the price, we are becoming more elitist. This pasta, okay, is like healthy and happy pasta, right? Yeah, if you want to, yeah, go ahead, take this idea and open up a restaurant. I cannot guarantee you if you're gonna succeed or not, but ideas for free, okay? Yeah, we believe ideas should be free, okay? This Article 8, U.S. Constitution, okay, very smartly written, right? James Madison, right? Yeah, yeah. Intellectual property right, copyright fully waived in this human series. It's our gift to you. Okay. So, yeah, pasta dish, healthy and happy pasta. Okay, restaurant. Yeah, feel free to franchise that restaurant if you want to. Okay, you don't have to pay me anything, right? I don't need money. I make money. Okay, I'm not well to do, but I make enough money. Okay, so you don't owe me any money. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, healthy pasta dish. Okay, there's some meat, but we boil it and cool it in the refrigerator and we skim off all the fatty content and we discard it, okay? And but the meat, the broth, brine or gravy, we use it, okay? So it's kind of fat free boiled meat, salted, properly seasoned with herbs, garlic powder, chopped onions and herbs, soybean sauce or fish sauce, okay? So good meat, but fat free meat, okay? Yeah, we use that stuff. We don't add any sugar in there either. Okay, so and pasta, whole grain, like 9, 10 grain each. Okay, so and different kinds of herbs, different kinds of pasta, right? These noodles, macaronis, okay, and you will feel the grain of this texture of this ground grains like flaxseed, quinoa, you name it, okay, barley, right? Great pasta, right? So we color it too, naturally. Yeah. With cilantro green or carrot orange, right? Yeah. Or what's that? What's that? This red kind of bulb. It's not reddish. What's this red vegetable? I buy that sometimes in a can. Okay. Beets, right? Yeah, we can put some beets in the pasta to color it red, right? Yeah, and maybe some dried orange rind, like some Chinese restaurant feature that orange chicken. Okay, we can use that too. Very chewy. I loved orange chicken. Okay, so yeah, okay, whatever. But if we increase the price, it become more elitist, bourgeoisie, right? Gentrification. Okay, but if you decrease the price, yeah, more people can come. Low income family, middle income family. Okay, so and if price go negative, okay, giving them gas money, time money, right? Yeah. Beyond that, if we bribe some more, yeah, it becomes involuntary consumers. Okay. Beyond that, there are some people who never come to my restaurant, no matter how much money I give them. Why? They're religious objectors. Okay, there's no buying them out. Okay, we serve meat here. Okay, so some hardcore vegetarians, animal rights activists, Muslims, Jews, Hinduists. Okay, they will never come to my restaurant because we serve meat. They don't want to see that. Okay, oh, we'll stop there. And there's some more other people. Okay, yeah. So let's say I'm conservative Republican. Okay, but political people, Democrats, maybe they can be bribed. Maybe they are bribable. All right. They know my reputation as conservative, but if I give them more money, they will come to my restaurant and eat this pasta. Okay. Political objectors. But religious objectors, there's no buying them out. Okay. No matter how much money I give them, they won't come. Okay. And there are some others. Who are they? There is some PG-13 material. Okay. So we'll talk about them in 5 minutes. Okay. If you want to take a guess, okay. Who are some of those hell dwellers? Okay. Yeah. Some extreme people. Okay. So, well, they are, they are part of this world, right? We're talking about outlaws. Okay. Some. strange people, okay? We'll talk about them, okay? Because we have to. It's a part of humanology, okay? We encompass the universe, good and bad, the extremes, in the people in the middle. We talk about all of them, okay? So we have this is very important that we talk about them. Some fringe elements of society, okay? Occultists, right? And yes, some criminals too. It's very important we talk about them because they exist. Okay? Yeah. We are not just doing economics, we are doing humanology too. Okay? Economics is a part of humanology. Okay, like we talk about psychology, sociology, mathematics, physics. We talk about everything, right? We're gonna talk about some dark subject matter in 5 minutes, all right? Yeah. So it will be PG-13, all right? Okay. All right. Give me 5 minutes, okay? So okay. Are you ready? We're gonna talk about some dark subject matter here, okay? So there are some elements in society anywhere in the world, maybe 0.01% of any given population. Of course, space and time, okay, they always existed. Criminals, okay. Uh, they're not beggars. They're not mendicants, right? They don't want any donation. What do they want is pain and suffering. They kind of bully type, okay. Hey, look at this, okay. Adam is offering, even bribing. What's bribery? Yes, advertisement money, okay. Promotional event, advertisement money. Advertisement, okay, it take a lot of money to get in the radio, television, magazine, newspaper, okay. Extra money. That's kind of bribery we're talking about. Yeah, come to my restaurant, okay? Yeah, spending my money, advertisement. That's kind of bribery. Okay? Yeah, it's like you come to this restaurant, I give you this pasta for free. On top of that, I give you some extra money too. That's advertisement. Marketing. Okay. Let's grab some wine. So, but some people have some of their pride, right? So they don't want to take donation. They don't want to take free money. What do they want is pain and suffering, copium, okay? Even some blood, right? And some broken bones, okay? They exist. And criminals, they are subject matters of novelists, writers, and fictionalists, and filmmakers, okay? Yeah. They don't want free food. No, they want to steal. They want some copium, pain and suffering. Okay, let's say I'm Adam. All right, I'm offering this free food as a charity, but they have the pride, their ego, so they don't want to take my pasta for free. They want to steal from me. There are some of those people. Anytime, any space, they have always existed. Yeah, the descendants of Cain. Okay, Cain and Abel, right? Back in Old Testament, Book of Genesis. Okay, yeah, descendants of Cain. This very famous Korean short novel, short story. Okay, way back in the days. So what they want is they want to burglarize my store, my restaurant, arson, burglary, theft. Although I'm more than willing to give this pasta dish for free, they don't want that. Okay, they want to have some fun, guilty pleasure, right? They want to commit crimes. They want to break the law and go against my will. They will not want this free handed out pasta dish that I'm more than willing to offer them. Okay. They want it to be involuntary. Okay. So they will ask me to kneel down on the ground, lick their boots, and take away the pasta from my refrigerator. They want to use violence, threats, dictatorship. Okay. Some people are like that. Yeah, they're sadists. Sadomasochism, right? Yeah, I'm not a masochist, okay? But some people are sadists like that. Okay? They want some blood, pain and suffering, infliction thereof. Some people are like that, okay? They will not take this donation. They want it to be involuntary subjection, okay? They want me to kneel down to the ground and bow down to them and lick their boots, okay? That's what they want. Okay? Some people are like that, okay? So they're kind of vampire-ish, Dracula kind of strange people. Okay. Have I seen them? Yes, yes, I've seen them. All right. So strange. I'm 42 years old, so I've seen all those different kinds of people. Okay. So yeah, I mean metaphysical hierarchy. Okay. On top you have saints. At the very bottom you have criminals. We are halfway in the middle. Most of us, right? It's Gaussian curve. Okay. So yeah, some people are saints, go above and beyond morality, ethics. Okay, others we are in the middle. We abide by the law. Sometimes immoral, unethical, but we at least abide by the law. We are hardworking, law-abiding citizens. But people who are lower than us, they are immoral and also illegal. Okay, It's whole spectrum of people. Okay, so and you see it right here. We're doing economics, okay, but it's part of humanology series. It's humanological economics theory. Okay, so yeah, it's very important we provide the whole coverage, whole spectrum of people in any given society in time and space. Okay, so will I write about this? Yes, I will write about it. Okay, in this paper. Okay. Yeah, so I wasn't ready to write about this. Okay, now I think I kind of am. Okay, so come tomorrow, Monday, after work. Yeah, I'll start writing about this. Okay, so volatility demand curve right here, flat line. Okay, and then transactional demand curve can exceed, go higher than volatility demand curve. Why? Because some people are bribable. Political objectors. They are bribable. Okay. I'm a Republican, Christian conservative, okay, and some Democratic consumers didn't really want to come to my restaurant because they know my reputation as a conservative, okay. But if I give them money involuntarily, so they'll come to my restaurant and take the money, eat this pasta, and go home, right? Beyond that, there's no buying them out, okay. Muslims, vegans, vegetarians, animal rights activists, and Christians, Hinduists. Well, Christians, some of them. Okay, so, yeah, because in this restaurant we saw pork, meat, beef, right? So religious objectors, conscientious objectors, they will never come to my restaurant. There's no buying them out. Even if I give them $10 trillion, they will still not come. Why? Because we serve beef, we serve pork, we serve meat. There's no buying them out. Okay, so okay, yeah. So you have this involuntary consumers. Okay, yeah. I have to bribe them. Okay, political objectors. Below that, all voluntary consumers. Okay, so from here to there, voluntary consumers. Okay, so and that's the line of volitional demand curve, flat line. Okay, and transactional demand curve. You go beyond that. Why? Because there are some involuntary consumers who are bribable. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm ready to write again. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to this. Okay. We don't have supply curve. Okay. Yeah, volitional supply or transactional supply. We can talk about that. Okay. But supply and demand, they are not independent. They are very much dependent. Okay. So that's our objection to Machiavellian supply demand curve theory because there's no separate supply curve. Okay, so supply is depend upon demand. Demand is depend upon supply. Okay, yeah, supply can create demand. Brand new invention, right? Electricity, right? Edison, okay, Thomas Edison, right? It did not exist before he invented this direct current, DC. Nikola Tesla, AC, alternative current. Before that, it did not exist. Okay, so yeah, sometimes supply leads the demand, sometimes demand leads supply, okay, but they are very much independent. They are very much dependent to each other, okay, so There's only one card. Okay, that's our thesis, right? Yeah. Later on, we covered oversupply situation, undersupply situation. Okay, yeah, we'll all do that. Okay, so it takes some couple of more months to finish this paper. It will be about 100 pages. Another month it will take, right? No problem. Okay, we'll take it slow. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so let me take a picture of this. And we'll take 5 minutes break, and then we'll talk about something else. Okay? And then we'll wrap it up for tonight. All right, so because I'm kind of getting drunk. Happy Sunday night. All right. Okay, we put this behind us. All right. After 5 minutes. Yeah, feel free to take a look at it, think about it if you want to, okay? So, after 5 minutes, we'll put it behind us. Alright. Okay, so let's talk about Sound of Music, right? This Broadway musical that made into Hollywood motion picture, right? Yeah, great story. And in my spare time, I took the liberty to look it up. Okay, it's originally from Germany. Miss Von Trapp, Trapp. Okay, yeah, she was not accredited for this, but this main characters in this movie, Broadway musical, Sound of Music, yeah, named after her. Okay, Maria von Von Trapp, right? German lady. Okay, it was originally her story. Okay, so based on real life story. Okay, she migrated to America from Germany during World War II, I guess. Okay, so it's based on her story. Sound of Music. Okay, yeah, nuns, right, and music. All these children. Okay, yeah, it's based on her story. Maria von Trapp, Trapp. Okay, she was not accredited in the movie, and they should have. It was a mistake. Okay. So, some spoiler alert. Okay. I was watching that movie after previous episode, right? Before I went to bed. Amazing story, okay? So spoiler alert. So yeah. So this Austria, Salzburg. I've never been to Austria, okay, but I have some friends who've been there, okay. They say, oh yeah, have you been to Vienna? I haven't. Salzburg. No, I haven't been to Austria. Okay, I've been to Germany and France, Italy, Spain, Portugal. Okay, in Portugal, I saw this wonderful castle on top of the hill. Okay, at night with this moon. It was beautiful. Okay, so that's the only castle I've ever seen in Europe. I think it was second trip in. Never went to Austria, but some friends of mine been to Austria. Okay, so Vienna, Salzburg. Okay, yeah, well, Czechoslovakia, right? Prague, right? Never been there, okay, but some of my friends have been there, right? And they will tell me stories, okay. They say, oh, all these ladies, tight-fitting blue jeans, okay, very beautiful, okay. I heard about those ladies from my male friends, okay, who've been there. Czechoslovakia, okay, Prague, or Austria, Vienna, Salzburg, okay. Some of my friends been there. Okay, I haven't. Okay, so European country I've been to, yeah, Portugal, fantastic. Okay, France, Italy, Germany, and Switzerland, Netherlands, Belgium. That's it. Yeah, England, Ireland. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. They were to Czechoslovakia, Prague, or Austria, Salzburg, Vienna. I haven't been there. I have some friends who've been there. Okay, so they'll tell me, yeah, oh, these European ladies with tight-fitting blue jeans, very beautiful. Yeah, yeah, I believe you. Okay, I'm sure they are very beautiful ladies. Okay, so it's just guys talking. We talk about ladies. Okay, yeah, it's just guys talking. Okay, yeah. Have I been to Japan? Yes, I have. Just airport. Have I been to Korea? Yeah, South Korea. Okay, beautiful ladies. Okay, I would talk to my male friends about them too. Okay, beautiful. Have I been to Mexico? Yes. Okay. Have I been to Canada? Yeah. Oh, beautiful ladies. Okay, between us guys, we talk about girls, ladies. Okay, we travel right, and we look at ladies in all different countries. We talk about them. Okay, that's just guy talk. We guys, we look at ladies, all different countries, and we talk about them. Okay, just guy talk. Okay, but in this Sound of Music, okay, there's this scene where they went to the lake, right, and yeah, what's her name? Julie Andrews. Okay, when she was young, right, back in 1960s. Yeah, they fall into the lake. Okay, so she's wet. When you're wet, yeah, water, these clothings, it stick to your skin. Okay, so to reveal this natural body figure, it's kind of very beautiful. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was beautiful. Okay, so there's some Korean story about that too. Back in 19, no, not 19, no, it's like 1500s, 500 years ago. Okay. There's this very amazing Korean female poet. She was like a kind of go-go dancer back in 1500s in South Korea. Well, yeah, around Seoul. Okay, so North Korea, South Korea back in the days is just Joseon, all right, dynasty. Mr. Lee's dynasty. Okay, they are my ancestors. 500 years. Okay. Korean Peninsula. Okay, it has long history. They say Panmanyeon. It's like 5,000 years. Korean history. Okay. Joseon dynasty. My ancestor, Mr. Lee, Ishi Joseon. That lasted 500 years. That's the last dynasty in Korean Peninsula. When Korea was won, there was no North and South Korea. Okay. The one Korea, okay. Yeah, yeah, there's the last Korean dynasty, Mr. Lee's dynasty, okay. They are my ancestors, right? Ishi Joseon, okay. They lasted 500 years. Korean history, they say 5,000 years. Okay, so one tenth of that is my ancestor, okay. Mr. Lee's dynasty, Ishi Joseon, okay. So around the 1500 AD, okay, there's this beautiful Korean lady. I don't remember her name, okay. I think she was like maybe Hwang Hee-jin, something like that. I don't remember. Okay, so she was a dancer, go-go dancer in some Korean restaurant 500 years ago. Okay, I learned about her in this South Korean high school 25 years ago, 1990s. Okay, so it was raining. Okay, so she was wearing this hanbok, Korean traditional costume. Okay, it was raining. Okay, she soaked on rain, so when your clothing are wet, it stick to your skin. She was a young lady, Korean dancer, okay, Korean cabaret, okay, yeah, kind of lap dancer, kind whatever, okay. So back in the days in Korea, they had that too, okay. This beautiful young Korean lady, okay, she was a great poet too, right? She wrote many poems, okay. I don't remember her name, okay, but very famous figure in Korean literature, okay. Feminine, back in 1500s AD in Korea, okay. So yeah, it rained, okay. So she was soaked on wet, and her clothing, this hanbok, Korean traditional female clothing, okay, stick to the skin, okay. So yeah, her female Korean Asiatic female feminine figure, she was young back then, maybe in her mid 20s or early 30s, okay, revealing her figure, female, as an Asian female, okay. And this Korean noble family guy married, okay. He looked at her and he fell from this horse that he was riding on. Some Korean story, okay. So I remember learning that when I was in Korean high school, Seoul, South Korea, 25 years ago. Okay, I remember that. Her poem was like this. Okay, well, I give you 5 minutes. Okay, if you want to take a guess. Okay, she's kind of low class. Okay, kind of prostitute. Okay, yeah, lap dancer, a little bit Korean style back in 1500s. Okay, they didn't do lap dancing, but kind of scantily clothes. Okay, in liquor store, not liquor store, but in a bar, Korean bar. Yeah, Korea back in the days, 500 years ago, they had bar and they have ladies, right? But she was a very good poet. Her literature legacy we learned in Seoul, South Korean high school and middle school, okay? Because she's a great poet. About 1500 AD in Korean Peninsula, female. She's a great poet. Right? I don't remember her name. I think her last name starts with H, like something like Huang. Okay, it's very difficult for me to look up those Korean historic figures. Okay, because I don't have Korean typewriter. Okay, so yeah. But I tried to look up. Okay, so I think her name is Hwang Hee-jin or something. We learned in Korean literature class back in 1990s, high school, middle school. I think her name is Hwang Hee-jin or something. Okay, we take 5 minutes break. Okay, then I look try to look her up. Okay, so okay, extraordinary. Okay, some European Caucasian female studied her. Yeah, there's some Korean documentary about that. Okay. We take 5 minutes. Okay. Right. Yeah, I found okay the internet in my cell phone. Yeah, Huang Jini. Okay, like genie in the bottle. Just like Arabian Night 1001 Nights narrated by female in Arab Middle East. Okay, back in the days in Middle East, they really appreciate females. Okay, like belly dancing and this veil. Okay, that's all Middle Eastern. Okay, so yeah, Arabic, North Africa, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Arabic. Okay, back in the days, they used to be really cool. Okay, they respected female beauty. Okay, back in the days, very revealing clothing, like veil, belly dancing. This all came from Middle East. Okay, Arabian Night, 1001 Arabian Night story, like Alibaba, genie. Okay, yeah, very exotic stuff. Later on, yeah, Dante, Inferno, or Divine Comedy. Later on, yeah, Giovanni Boccaccio. Okay. Later on, yeah, England, yeah, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Okay, that's the tradition. It is short stories. Okay. Okay, so that's Western culture, African, Middle East, European culture. Okay. In the East, yeah, you have Huang Jini. Okay, 1500s. I found her okay, on the internet. Okay, so some content generous Korean people had this Wikipedia article. Okay, so yeah, Huang Jini, 1500s. She was a go-go dancer. Okay, kind of like striptease, a little bit like gentleman's club, right? Yeah, but she was very smart, so she wrote many poems. And as a when I was in 1990s, South Korean high school student, we had to study her poems. It was mandatory, and it was very good. Yeah. Female Korean poet or go-go dancer, but at least at the same time very good poet, Miss Hwang Jin-hee. She got her Wikipedia article about herself. Okay, biography. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad somebody wrote about her. Okay. We had to study her poems, poetry, because she's a great poet. Okay, Korean literature class back in 1990s, when I was in Seoul, South Korea. Yeah. So one poem I remember that she wrote. Okay, yeah, there's this guy, right? He's married, right? He came to this gentleman's club where she dance and sing. Okay, scantily clothed back in 1500s in Korea, around Seoul. Okay, so there's this guy. He's married. He's a high governmental official, but he's so high and mighty and proud. Okay, and it rained, right? So her hanbok, Korean traditional female costume, okay, skin to, sticking to her skin because it's raining, right? And he saw her and he fell from his horse because she was too beautiful, right? Yeah, so she sang this poem, narrated this poem, okay. Yeah, you're high and mighty governmental official, you are married, okay, you're well to do, okay, but don't be too proud, okay? Because I don't like it. I don't like your proud attitude. She wrote poems, something like that, okay? Against elitism. She's kind of low class. He's high class. He's married. She's single. Go-go dancer in some Korean gentleman's club. Yeah, nudie bar. Okay, striptease club. Okay, back in 1500s in Korea, 500 years ago. We learned that stuff when we were teenagers in Seoul, South Korea back in 1990s. Yes. Great story, right? Yeah. Yeah. World history, right? Yeah, it's very interesting. Right? Nowadays, I don't read news. Okay, maybe every now and then. Okay, but with the news nowadays, only 1% will survive 10 years, 100 years later, right? But we look at back in the history that happened 10, 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago. They're still surviving those history. Okay, in encyclopedia or Wikipedia web pages. Okay, it's survival of the fittest, right? We look at contemporary news. That's just 99% not worthwhile to pay attention to. Okay, 1% will survive 10 years, 100 years later. Okay, so I'd rather spend time with past, the things that survived through time and space, enduring eternal kind of news, information, history. Because yeah, contemporary history, yeah, only 1% will survive. Okay, so 99% will go away, right? In time, 100 years later. Okay, so but if we look back, something that happened 2,000 years ago, we are is still accessible because it's survival by fittest, Darwinian evolution. Okay, I'm reading them now. A is better than the contemporary news because 99% of them, if we forgotten, it's not significant, right? 1% of them are okay. It will survive and thrive later years. Okay, so yeah, this X-File episode improbable. Okay, yeah, I don't want to offend you. This guy, classical American actor. Okay, I don't want to offend you, but you know what? I love classics like Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, Vivaldi, Tchaikovsky. Who's the Italian composer and violinist? He's not Salieri. Salieri, he's cool. Okay, I like him. Okay, so who's that? He's a violinist and composer, Italian. Okay, he imitated dog barking with his violin. What's his name? Very avant-garde Italian violinist, also composer. What's his name? Let me look him up. Okay, so Italian violinist. Oh, Pagani, Niccolo Pagani. Okay, yeah, yeah. So they become eternal, right? Yeah, Niccolo Pagani. Yeah. And some politicians they become eternal too. You have Abraham Lincoln, JFK, FDR. Okay, yeah, some politicians they become eternal too. Some scholars like Isaac Newton, Galilei, Copernicus, or Eureka, what's his name? Archimedes, or the element, what's his name? Greek mathematician, geometry. Uh, Euclid, Euclidean. Okay, yeah, Some musicians like Paganini, Niccolo Paganini, Tchaikovsky, they become eternal too. Okay. Some politicians like Napoleon, Abraham Lincoln, Washington, James Madison, they become eternal too. Okay. So, yeah. Some philosophers like Immanuel Kant, Friedrich Nietzsche, or Arthur Schopenhauer, some economists like Adam Smith, right? They become eternal, okay? Yeah. Do I care of my name being eternal? No, I don't care at all. But do I care about this human knowledge being eternal? I do care, okay? It's not about me, it's about people's collective wisdom, okay? I'm just representative. Mail delivery personnel, pizza delivery, okay? That's what I am. Everything I learned from somebody else, my friends, colleagues, people like you. Yeah, like PBS, public broadcasting system. Yeah, I'm just collector of wisdom. That's all right. I add my own stuff too. Some personal discovery. Okay. Yeah, it's all good. Okay. I'm way too drunk. It's Sunday night. Tomorrow, Monday, I have to get back to work. Yeah, so okay. So let's wrap it for tonight. Okay. All right. Thank you. God bless you. Okay. I love you. Thank you for loving me. God bless you for generations to come. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Good night. Bye.